Hello, European Confessions. I am back with another episode. There is a message that I want to share with you guys, and the message reads like this. Hello, how are you, Brother Nashi? I am a woman and I was married before. Now I am into my second marriage. I got into this second marriage that I am in right now. This was after I had gone to this party with my friend. Whilst we were at that party, I then ended up drinking alcohol and I got so drunk like never before. Since I was drunk like that, I ended up having sexual intercourse with this other guy, the man that I finally got married to, the same man that I am now living with. I then returned back home and I later find out this was after a month after I had did this thing, after I had cheated on my ex-husband. That is when I found out that I was pregnant. But I immediately knew that this pregnancy did not belong to my husband, whom I was living with at that time. I then told myself that the pregnancy that I was carrying, it belonged to the man that I had slept with at the party that I had gone to. I knew that the man that I had slept with at that party, he is the one who had given me this pregnancy. The reason why I was thinking that it was that guy whom I had met at the party, it was because I had been married for more than 5 years, but I could not give my husband a child. When I saw that I could not give my ex-husband a child when I was still married to him, we went to several doctors. That is when we were told that my husband was having this problem of having low sperm count. That is when I decided this thing of cheating on my husband. I then decided to run away from my first husband. Brother Nashi, let me start at the root of my story. So I was married to my first husband, and my first husband, I'm not saying that he was a bad guy, but whenever we'll be having sex, he was that guy whom we can call, he was just a 2-minute noodle, because when he was on top of me, he would just take less than 2 minutes and you will say that he is already produced. So for me to say that I was enjoying in my first marriage, I didn't even enjoy. I didn't have a good sexual life at all. I was not allowed to work. He wanted me to stay at home at all times. Maybe he was just jealous because he was just a 2-minute noodle man. Then there was a Christmas party. This was at my friend's house, and my husband, he had gone out. He was working somewhere far from home, so I was able to do whatever I wanted when he was not at home. So I went to this party. It was for the first time in my life that I was going to enjoy myself. When I went to that party, I drank alcohol like I had never done in my life. As I was drinking alcohol, that is when me and this guy, we started speaking, until me and my current husband, we started having sexual intercourse. After this, I went back home. Only after a month, I then started feeling that these symptoms that I was noticing on my body, I was pregnant. I went to the doctor, and yes, the doctor confirmed that indeed I was pregnant. When the doctor gave me the confirmation that I was already pregnant, I was stressed so much. I was stressing because I was a married woman. And if I was going to tell my husband that I had miraculously fallen pregnant, I knew that my husband was not going to believe me, because he had already given up on life. He knew that he was someone who cannot make a woman fall pregnant. So I didn't know what to do, because my husband already knew that his situation with the low sperm count, I cannot fall pregnant for him. I then told my friend's cousin brother, the one that I am currently married to, I told him that he had made me to fall pregnant, and I told him that I wanted to have an abortion, and he pleaded with me. He told me that he loved the baby that I was carrying. He said, please do whatever you can, but please do not abort, because I want this baby. Me and that guy, that is when we planned that I had to run away from my husband. He looked for another accommodation, and then I went and I started staying with my current husband. I gave birth to my son. This happened about 17 years ago, because right now my son, he is 17 years old. this year now, what happened is that as we are speaking right now, Brother Nashi, my son right now, my only son, the only one that God gave me, he is currently in hospital as we are speaking. I don't know what to do anymore. And for the past 17 years that I have been staying with my current husband, I tried so much to fall pregnant for him again, but I don't know what happened to my body because I just failed to conceive again. I failed to give him another child, but he said that it is okay because already I had given him a son that was going to carry on with the family name. Now what happened to my son is that they told me that when he was at school, he just fell ill. Then they rushed him to the hospital. Right now, my son is in hospital. So it happened that the doctor requested that there were some tests that were supposed to be run on my son, and also there were some tests that were run on my current husband. After the tests were done, they were sent to this certain laboratory. And at that laboratory, there is this friend of mine, me and her, we are very close. There was this other day, she just called me out of the blue and she said, you and I, we have to meet because there is something that I want to discuss with you. Because she told me that on the day that she received the package that was containing the specimen from my husband and from my son, she immediately knew that this was my family. I don't know what made her to run some DNA test on the specimen that was sent to her laboratory. Maybe it was because she knew that I had ran away from my husband about 17 years ago. But as we were having the meeting, that is when she told me that she ended up running a secret DNA test on the specimen that was sent over to her laboratory from the hospital. Then she showed me the DNA test results and she said, can you see that on this test result, it is saying that this boy that you are claiming that your current husband is the father to this boy, this result is proving otherwise. You can go wherever you want to go to, but I guarantee you that the same result that I am showing you right now, that is the same result that you are going to get even if you try to test multiple times. When she told me that my son does not belong to my current husband, I didn't know what to do anymore. So I drove to this other dam and I actually thought of just getting into that dam so that I can just drown and die. I am so confused right now, Brother Nashi. I am always suicidal. My son is in the hospital. My current husband doesn't know that I did this DNA test in secret and I want it to remain as a secret. Right now, I am just looking for advice. I don't know. Should I get back in contact with my ex-husband? Should I tell him that there is a possibility that God did a miracle for him, and before I had ran away from our marriage, I was already pregnant for him? I thought that the pregnancy that I was carrying, it was for that other guy that I had met at that party and I had slept with him. Should I tell my ex-husband that we should go for a DNA test so that we can know the truth? I want advice, but when people are advising me, they have to know that whatever I am going to do, I have to do it in secret. I cannot let my current husband know that I did this secret DNA test. Dear listeners, right there was a message that I received from our dear sister. Please let us try to speak with her in the comment section.